even begin? Where do I even begin with this fucking game? Oh my god. Words cannot describe not just how vindicated I feel that I saw this coming from a mile away, but also just how upset I am at how generational of a fumble this is. I don't think there are strong enough words in the dictionary to describe the amount of squandered potential that MultiVersus has. I'm not even gonna put up music for this. I genuinely think that I just need to fucking go in here and just raw dog the thoughts, because like just genuinely there are so many things that I love about this game and so many things that I hate about this game. It is an abusive relationship, one that for the longest time I could not escape. You give me characters like Tom and Jerry, you give me characters like Taz, characters that I genuinely love and characters that I learned to love, like fucking Black Adam. I didn't think anything about this character. I literally thought nothing of him. And then I played him. And then I was like, holy shit, this guy's fun, and I like lightning powers. It was a perfect fit. And then there's this guy who's gonna become fucking lost media soon. Poor fucking Rain Dog, man. I saw a fucking tweet that was like, oh, he's a fucking industry plant. Brother, not every OC is a fucking industry plant, okay? First of all, that word gets thrown around way too much. I assure you, Rain Dog is not that. A better industry plant would probably be Luna Snow, if I'm being completely honest, but Rain Dog deserves better. He deserves to be in a platformer. He deserves to be in a collectathon. He deserves a Spyro game. Give him a Spyro game, please. You know what? I think I will, Casey. So, what's an industry plant? Essentially, a character or something that people deem as something that is entirely corporate driven, and like backing behind it is more corporate than anything. There aren't any real fans of it. It's more so just kind of a moneymaker. I assure you, Rain Dog is definitely not that. Like, people liken that to more so like OC characters in more widely established like phenomena. So, like, MultiVersus being, like, Rain Dog being this game's OC, characters like Luna Snow, who have not existed for very long. In fact, she was made for a mobile game, like, almost 10 years ago, and just doesn't have really a whole lot of presence. Characters kind of like that. Anyway, to follow back onto what Casey said. So, I guess to start, I didn't have many initial thoughts on MultiVersus other than, hey, Tom and Jerry, characters that I watched on the TV growing up, in a fighting game, in a Smash game, no less. That's pretty cool. I'll check that out whenever it happens. And then I played the beta, and sure enough, I could get Tom and Jerry pretty easily within like an hour of playing the game. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, of course I'm gonna play my boys. I fucking sucked at them. They're difficult to learn. But you know what? That didn't deter me. And guess what? I fell in love with this game. Truly I fell in love with MultiVersus. Much like a whole lot of others. Because guess what? There wasn't just me. There was over 100,000 people playing this game at one point. Over 150, I think, was the amount that the beta peaked at. And you know what? It deserved it. It made a fun, a fast, a platform fighter. It made a good one. Now, obviously, balance was, a bit of an issue, but, it was nothing that couldn't have been ironed out. Unfortunately, it never did. Not even in the beta where we say from poor balancing. Okay, hold on a sec. Before I go a bit deeper into this, I have to blow my nose. Okay, yeah, doing this when you're congested probably isn't the best, but, like, whatever, right? Yeah, we were never really spared from things like poor balancing, and I could put up with it. I could put up with my characters being mid-tier. I can put up with the game, being the game. I could do that for a while because, why not, right? Then, things kept getting worse. And we're talking about back in the beta, right? Where the gameplay was fluid, so I could, kind of get away with it. But then the bugs started to pile up. And then they made Superman and Harley fucking busted. Then I lost the will to play. And I have a screenshot somewhere. But I nearly got every character to level 15 back in the beta. And it was a lot easier to do back then than it was to do now. I'll admit. But I wanted to at least have an understanding of every character, because in games like this, and in games, where the roster is relatively large, and, well, yeah, I like playing multiple characters because that, I feel, is where the content is. It's in the characters. It's in how they play and how to go about all that. It's fun. It's fun to try to learn characters. And so I did that. As you can see, didn't really get as far in the full release. Because not only did they make everything else worse, they also made grinding characters a lot harder. And I'm forever sad that I stopped at Raven right here, because Raven was one of the few characters in the full release that I was actually excited for. So much so that I bought her right away. Only for the perk that I was looking forward to using, which, by the way, is probably in the game now again. Yeah, this one. Which, by the way, I do have for free, because I spent my perk currency on it already. Thank God they didn't make me pay for it twice. That shit crashed the game, and then got taken out of the game. Till about mid-season patch. Which I think is just laughable, considering that's just kind of the state of MultiVersus. But anyway, I'm getting far too ahead of myself. The beta. The beta was fun. It was fluid. It was fast. It was actually really fun to watch. Like, I remember back then, Casey would show me tournaments and stuff from MultiVersus, like pro stuff, and I thought that it was really sick watching these dudes just fly the fuck around and just do their thing. People would be... I know some people are just like, oh, but the game was too fat. I don't care. I don't care that the game was too fast. I don't care that it hurt my fingers. It was fun. It's fun to go that fast. That's why people did it. But yeah, a lot of things kind of bogged down the beta. Netcode, poor balancing, a lot of bugs. Yeah, I know, Raven. And with the full release, I wasn't expecting things to change, but I wanted to hope that they would. Because they had a year off. Surely they learned their lesson. Surely things will be better. Surely the game can thrive now. I was horribly mistaken. I know that sometimes things can change, but this was most definitely not one of those times when things could change.
Oh, this is fun. Fun.
I'll forever miss these characters. I'll miss Foghorn Leghorn as well. I never got well acquainted with him in this game.
Where is that rabbit?
Okay, well, I don't wanna... But yeah, speed of the beta was really fun, and then I think losing that the most, as well as everything else. Okay, I can't. Oh, that's right, they changed this. Made it actually kind of cool. Oh, right, shields are a thing, aren't they? They are. Right, I forgot about that. I've never used them. Okay, well, I mean, that shit still works.
Let's go in soup. I think I'm getting even stronger.
Yeah, I'll miss this game when it goes away. But anyway. So many things. Like, that I was hoping would be better. Things that I just... man. Kind of. The game is going to be taken offline May 30th, so we'll only have a couple months to do that. It will not receive the Rumble treatment of the game having its online stay up. We're just going to be forced to accept that this game will not be playable. Which, yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. I mean, I don't know, like, Rumble outlasting MultiVersus kind of comes full circle. So, first, MultiVersus was a thing. The fucking beta, you know, died. Literally, I think on the day, or at least one of the days, that Rumble had its beta. The MultiVersus beta died. Then Rumble exists and dies. And then MultiVersus comes back. And then dies again. Like, there has never really been a timeline where Rumble and MultiVersus have coexisted. There has only been, like, one day where you could play MultiVersus and Rumble at the same time. Which I think is wild to think about, really. Like, you know, before, like, content was shuttered for both of them. Right. Full release. I was hopeful. I thought that things would be better. I thought that maybe I should give them a chance. And then we see just how ridiculous the monetization was at the start. And just how dumb things like single-player content was with the rifts. Yeah, you could unlock Agent Smith for free. In fact, I fucking did that. And got his skin.
Now listen here, son.
And I don't even play Smith that much. Because the character is just too fucking busted. And, like, that shit was hell. It was hell for anyone, really. Just to go through that stuff. In a game where I feel like the single-player content could have been significantly better had it been, I don't know, just not that, had we been given a real story mode. But that requires the game to be making money. This game did not make money, despite how aggressively monetized it was. All of these things cost real money. Which, it's a free-to-play game. They have to make money somehow, you know? However... Oh yeah, see, you can't even buy Gleamium now. I never even checked this shop. What do you mean there isn't a fucking Taz skin? Or a fucking Tom and Jerry skin? The fact that they gave these... the fact that these are even elusives to begin with, despite the fact that I know for a fact they are never returning, is crazy. That is actually just insane to me. They had the audacity, they had the chutzpah to make skins elusive, to make them not come back, to make them not obtainable in the shop, while knowing full well that in a couple weeks they were going to announce that the game was going to end its whole thing. That's insane. That is genuinely crazy. Right. Player first games. I don't know who's specifically to blame there. I don't know if it's upper management not really listening to QA. I don't know if it's some sort of fucking Warner Bros. Executive telling them to do these types of things. I genuinely don't know who to point the finger at for just how massive of a fumble this game truly was. But I know that not everyone should be blamed there, but I do know that there should be a lot of fingers pointed in some sort of direction. I think the true start of the downfall was Tony, the director for the game, stopping communication on Twitter. I know that the guy probably didn't exactly have it easy, you know, being as active as he was, but there was something about that. There was something about that kind of transparency that is incredibly rare in a game like this. In any game, really. We had something special at the beginning of Beta MultiVersus. Not even just with the game, but also with the people behind it. And after a while, that stopped. And we never truly got that back. For the longest time, we've had people like Ajax and Nakat, and I'm sure that they're trying their best. I'm sure that they have wanted this game to succeed. even though they're hyping up a relatively shit product that I'm sure that they know that it's shit, but they don't really want to say it because, they're contractually obligated not to. Like, they know that this game could be so much better. Like, we all know that this game could be better. But then, they kind of just have to sit there and act like nothing's wrong when you can see the world crumbling around them. And that sucks. That really sucks to see. Because you can tell that these people had passion at one point for this game. Hell, they still might. Well, I don't know about now, but when the game was still getting content and it wasn't confirmed to have, been dead, you could tell. Even if the things that they said weren't always credible. Like, the one thing that I always fall back on when I think about how poorly this game has been managed is when I remember seeing a post on the subreddit. Someone talking about, I think it was during season 3 or 4 or something like that. Jake was in a really shit spot, and was for most of the full release. And someone left a comment saying, because Jake had already basically been nerfed, even though he was already bad, can't wait for Jake nerfs. To which Ajax replies with a "no you" card. And so I'm under the impression that they're finally giving Jake something to work with. And what was the buff that they gave him? He got, what was it? +1 damage on his up air, I think? Yeah, +1 damage on his up air. And they fixed the bug. And that was it. That's nothing. That is genuinely less than nothing. Like, sure, I'll take the bug fix, and sure, I'll take the +1 damage, which isn't really going to do much. There's perks that do more than that. But the fact that he went out of his way to reply to that, he went out of his way to, I wouldn't say hype it up, but make it seem like something more. And then obviously Jake got buffed later on, but I have to imagine that those Jake buffs that were going to happen just weren't ready or something. But, like, how the fuck are we supposed to know that when nothing is being said? And that's the other thing that I really hate, is the lack of communication. Obviously, that shit ended when Tony stopped replying on Twitter and shit. But it's the lack of communication plus the greedy monetization that really just got under my skin as time went on. So, first, it was the fact that we had to wait 3 days for Beetlejuice to come out, which they didn't say anything about prior. They had a whole stream, they had a whole Into the Verse showing off Beetlejuice, showing off his moves, saying, that he'd be there on, what was it, Tuesday or some shit? Like, on patch day, right? And then they failed to say anything about how to get him. Many people asked. Some of them, yeah. I literally just talked about this. Yes, some of the winter skins are elusive because guess what? They look better than some of the others. And they have unique animations. Because, yeah, instead of legendaries. Again, I'll get to the elusive skins in a second again. I'm still on the Beetlejuice thing. Right, Beetlejuice. No, they didn't say anything about how to unlock them. It was just you had to find out in game or via the patch notes that hey, you have to wait 3 days to use that fighter currency that you've stockpiled in order to actually unlock him for free. Otherwise, you gotta cough up $10. 10 fucking dollars for a character. Which is outrageous in this kind of game. I haven't even touched on like the whole unlocking method of characters and how it's gotten progressively worse as the game has gone on, but that's a whole other thing. We'll get to that as well. The lack of communication, because they knew that they would get absolute backlash for something like that, is fucking baffling. The fact that they chose not to say something about it, knowing full well that no one liked it. We have put up with it for now because, guess what? It has become the norm. It wasn't before. It's just fucking baffling that they would just not say anything. I know why they didn't. But it's still just one of the most stupid things. And and that was just the start. It's when you knew that this game wasn't going to last. Like, it's when the writing truly was on the wall. And that was all the way back in, like, mid of Season 2. We are approaching Season 5. We knew for almost 6 months what was to become of this game. I will get to that soon. Don't you worry about that. And then Season 3, right? We get the skins that that a lot of people were excited for. Stuff like Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Harleen Quinzel. It's hot as fuck. Like, say what you will about a lot of things in MultiVersus, they cook with designs. Look at this fucking Raven. It is just fucking peak. Absolute peak. It's a shame that this design is going to be locked to this game because, oh my goodness, if Raven continued to look like this, I would have zero complaints. But yeah, like, can I even see that skin from here? I can't even see it. That's crazy. That's actually fucking wild. I can't even find it. So people aren't even gonna know that that skin existed. That's crazy. I like how she says that now. That's cool. But yeah, those skins, they're cool. They didn't say anything about them being elusive. They said fucking nothing about that. And you had to choose between the really cool Halloween skins that they came out with, like the Batman and Joker Tom and Jerry, Superman Bugs, stuff like that. That was really cool. Oh yeah, the Finn Jason skin as well. Skins that were also really, really cool. Or you get the alter ego skins, things that people had been waiting so long for. Things that they could have put in the prestige shop, things that they could have put in the regular shop just as legendaries. But no, you gotta try to milk people and make them elusive, give them FOMO, because the game is already bleeding money and they have to try to make back whatever they can, even though at that point people see through this bullshit and they're not going to spend that money, or at the very least not that many are. Obviously there's going to be a few people that do, and those people are probably going to be what makes PFG money. But if the average person sees that they're getting scammed, recognize that they're getting scammed, then you failed to scam properly, because a good scam is going to make people feel like they didn't get scammed. And then here we are, yet again, more elusive skins from yet another event. This is the third one so far that has had elusive skins And what is even the point now? What was even the point of making these skins elusive? I'll never see them again. I'm never going to see the game again. All of these skins are basically elusive. What is even the point? To just rack up the price now? There's no point. There's absolutely none. Every elusive skin should just be made a fucking legendary or something that is automatically given to players. Because that FOMO bullshit doesn't even work anymore. It was dumb to begin with, and it's dumb now. And it wasn't always like this. Back then, legendary skins were pretty fucking cool.
Now listen here, son. It's time to choose.
Obviously, that shit costed money, but I mean, hey. You know, you used to get shit like, what's its face? Where is it? Where is he? Fucking Black Lantern Superman, Black Lantern Wonder Woman skins that people really, really liked, had a lot of detail in, and just were really fucking cool. But nowadays, you don't get that shit. I don't know. I just think that it's fucking crazy. And then let's talk about characters for a second, right? So when I first got into this game, like I said, I played Tom and Jerry, and they took me like an hour max to unlock, which I thought was pretty cool. How the system itself with gold, a bit grindy, but at the start, you can choose whatever character you want, and you can just go in and go ham with it. And it didn't take too long to build up gold and get another character. And then you start unlocking more characters, because you keep playing, you keep unlocking progress towards getting stuff. It wasn't even just characters, it was cosmetics as well. Not all of them, obviously. A lot of them were Gleamium only, which, again, understandable, game has to make money. But there were still some that you could purchase with gold, and I thought that that was really fucking cool. Like, the classic Iron Giant skin, right? Iron Giant had, this basic skin, you know, Superman. But if you wanted the classic Iron Giant look, you could get that for like 500 gold. And I thought that that was really cool of them to do. They didn't need to go through all the effort to make another animation to remove the S, but they did. That's the level of detail that I got from Player First Games when the game came out and was still in the beta. It was great. It was phenomenal. And then you fast forward to... Right, I'm not even done with that thought. With gold, I had quite a lot still stockpiled after unlocking all the characters. And I unlocked the characters, I think, a good... maybe 150 hours in? And I wasn't even like a super dedicated player back then. I would play occasionally. I would, you know, have like moments where I'd play for like maybe a week and then maybe go off and just do something else, because, like, you know, I mean, as a casual, this game was incredibly fun. It was incredibly satisfying to play and all that stuff. And so before the beta died, I made it a point to try to unlock every character and try to level them up to level 15. And I consider myself very lucky, because most people did not have the foresight to unlock every character, because they all assumed that their gold, which PFG specifically said would transfer to the full release, would transfer over. There was no reason to think they would lie. There was no reason to think that they would completely change how you unlock characters and all of the systems that were in this game. There was no reason to think that they drastically change a lot of the game. And then the full release happens. And then you start to realize that the game that you once knew, the game that you once loved, is no longer the same game that you've been given. You are instead given a shell, a hollow shell of what you once loved. It's like seeing, I don't know, the girl that you fell in love with turn into something that she wasn't. And you have to kind of, you're still in love with her, but you're noticing that things are different now. And as time goes on, the cracks start to show more. Until you finally realize that you've had enough and you have to break up with her. That is what MultiVersus feels like. And that's what the full release also feels like. Fighter currency was what they decided to replace with gold, which, by the way, didn't even become like a direct translation from gold. Gold got completely nuked. None of that transferred over. The only thing that really transferred over, quote-unquote, was the perks that you bought with gold, which, by the way, that was a thing as well. Perks and all that stuff you could buy with gold after you reached a certain character level, which I thought was pretty cool. That got transferred into perk currency. That is like the only thing that got transferred, aside from, you know, cosmetics and shit. Cosmetics, characters, and whatnot. But that also meant that people who did not have all the characters unlocked had to then start over the grind for characters because they couldn't unlock them in the full release. What fucking bullshit reason is that? Like, why? Other than player retention. Yes, it was just gold and gleamium. It was so easy because things either costed gold or they costed real money with gleamium. And gleamium was money only. You could not earn it in-game, which I still think was a negative. I think that it should have been earnable, maybe not to the level that you can earn it in the full release, but still earnable in, like, say, the Battle Pass, or via missions, or whatever. Not missions, but, like, challenges and whatnot. You get what I'm saying. Basically just a little bit so that people who play the game and are free players still feel incentive to actually be excited for skins, because that was one of the things that always kind of got under my skin in the beta, was that I can't be excited for skins if I can't actually get them. Because, as always, I'm broke. I don't have money. If I see things that cost money, I get sad because I can't get them. And if I can't get them, I'm not going to care for them. And that kind of still remains true. Like, if things cost real money, I'm not going to really care unless they give me a way to actually grind that out. If that's the case, then guess what? I'm no longer upset. I'm more so looking at how feasible actually grinding that shit out is. Which, you know, I mean, to varying degrees, Lord knows I wouldn't spend any time trying to unlock anything in, what was it, Star Wars Battlefront 2? Like when EA wanted to give people a sense of pride and accomplishment of unlocking stuff, which literally could never happen unless you coughed up real money. Yeah, you know, that stuff. Thankfully, MultiVersus was never that bad. But that still doesn't excuse just how weirdly scummy the way that things went. So, you had Gold and Gleamium in the beta. Pretty easy system to understand, you know. The UI helped a lot. Made it really, really easy to understand. Then you get to the full release, and now there's a bunch of currencies a lot to keep track of. You have no gold. That shit's gone. In fact, the only trace of gold left is... Where is it? Not this. It was a... Yeah, there it is.
That's Red's match. I say Red's match point.
Thank you, Foghorn. Where was it? It was... Where? There it is. This is what became of gold. This little badge right here. That number right there, the power inside number, that's how much gold I had left over from the beta. That was after I bought all the remaining characters, which costed like maybe 2,000, 3,000 gold. Somewhere around there. And it wasn't exactly hard to come by either. And you fast forward to now. Yeah, it's, First of all, the fact that they said that gold would transfer over, and then it fucking didn't, is scummy. Then, having to make us grind out a new currency, because they're just like, oh, you know, everyone's starting fresh and all that. That's crazy. Resetting every character's levels. That's also crazy. Because the thing that I was grinding for in the beta no longer fucking mattered, which was a huge fucking blow to me. But I understood, because they made it so that you get Gleamium after, you know, unlocking, what's-its-face, after getting to level 15. So I was just like, alright, you know what, sure. I can grind out characters in a couple of days, it'll be easy. Then they made grinding out characters take, like, almost 4 times as long. Which I'm not a fucking fan of. I get why. Because there's, you know, premium currency at the end. But if you're gonna pull that shit, then just get rid of the Gleamium at the end of the character things and just make it so that you put the cosmetics that were there originally in their place. So that you could then have an easier time grinding levels. Because guess what? Grinding out characters in this game was fun. It's what I loved doing. I loved just sitting down, trying a new character, getting them leveled up, and then moving to the next one. It wasn't just Warner Brothers that screwed us over, though. Back then, Player First Games was independent. They had a say into things that happened. Because they weren't owned by WB. It was only until the full release, Season 2, that they got acquired by Warner Bros. Games. And that's when things truly started to go downhill with the monetization, which obviously kind of paints a picture that it becomes a bit clearer. But, yeah, so I didn't even get into all the currencies. So, perk currency, you buy perks with it. People who played the beta and had perks from that got a fuck ton of perk currency. More than enough for anything that they wanted. Meanwhile, new players struggled to even get enough perk currency because returning players complained that there was too much perk currency because it was useless to them. And then, lo and behold, new players realize that they can't get enough of it. And you can't buy that anywhere. That's one of the few things that you can't do. You could buy fighter currency. You could buy... Well, I mean, you could use Gleamium to get prestige currency. You could buy Gleamium. But you can't do anything with perk currency. You just kind of have to hope that they give more to you. Which I think is a really... If you're gonna make people pay for everything else, you might as well just put the option there. It was like... I don't know, like maybe fucking 10,000 perk currency for 50 Gleamium? Or 100 Gleamium or some shit? I mean, you already hand out Gleamium for free. Might as well do that. I don't know. That's just me, though. But anyway. And that's not even getting into prestige currency. Like, we're not even at that point yet. Right, but anyway. Oh, right, Marceline. I mean, I guess I'll buy her. I don't really... Well, actually, I could wait. No, because she'll still be 6,000 when the thing runs over. And it's not like all that fighter currency is going to really matter anyway. Lola and Aquaman are going to be free. So, like, quite literally, this currency doesn't fucking matter anymore. So I'll just go ahead and unlock Marceline. Because, like hell, I'm going to go through the fighter road. And, oh, I haven't even gotten to the fighter road. We'll get there. So, yeah, just give me her. I don't really care. I haven't really tried her. Maybe one day. They did patch a lot of the stuff that made her broken. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I, decide to boot up the game again, which I more than likely will, know that. Right. What was I saying? Right. Oh yeah, and then there was, I haven't even gotten to the fucking battle passes. Oh my god. Oh boy, okay, we'll get there, we'll get there. Right. Characters. They're, fun to play. They're fun to do stuff with. They're iconic. Look at all these characters from different TV shows and different movies and shit that people want to play as. Tom and Jerry. Fucking Raven from Teen Titans. Marvin the Martian. Bugs Bunny. Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, which I didn't think would ever be in a game like this. Fucking... And you have your DC superheroes. Batman. Superman. Harley, I guess. And then... who? Oh yeah, Nubia. Yes, because that's who people wanted. She's fun though. She's actually really fun. And then you have Cartoon Network staples. The Powerpuff Girls. Samurai Jack. Steven Universe. It's crazy. There's all these iconic characters that are fun to play. And I'd like to play them. But what if we made unlocking them really difficult? What if we made unlocking them harder? That's essentially what fighter currency did compared to gold. But it was still somewhat manageable. They gave out a lot of fighter currency over time. You could still feasibly unlock characters, even if the process was painfully slow. It was still manageable, and they had events where you could use in-game tokens to buy characters for free, which I thought was pretty cool. Gives people a chance to catch up a little bit. Like that's all good. That's all good stuff. And then we heard about them changing the character unlocking progression system. And initially I was like, okay, sure. I'm fine with a new way to do it. And that way was Fighter Road. Now initially I was just like, oh, okay, you earn the ability to unlock characters by playing the game. That sounds like a good system on paper. And then we get to the execution of it. Then the execution makes me want to tear my fucking hair out. Oh, there were multiple things that killed the game, Trovo. But this was definitely a big one. So, for anyone who's unaware of how Fighter Road worked, I'll go ahead and explain it. You no longer have fighter currency. Instead, you have Fighter Road and Fighter Road XP. That was earnable after a game. You got a certain amount. You can get it via missions. You can get it in the Battle Pass. You can basically get Fighter Road XP in multiple different ways. And what ended up happening is that the road would have you locked to specific characters. And, like, there were subgenres within that, which also kind of led to different characters. Which, again, sounds okay on paper, but then you realize, wait a minute. When I initially played this game, I wanted to play Tom and Jerry. I wanted to unlock Tom and Jerry. I unlocked Tom and Jerry, and I then, subsequently, started having fun with the game, because I was playing the character that I wanted to play. But with this new system, I would have to wait an ungodly amount of time to get to Tom and Jerry. And at that point, why the fuck would I even bother playing the game if I can't even play the character that I want to play in the first place, and I have no other way to get them? Unless you decide to cough up real money. There is never been a good thing to come from this system. From them constantly changing the system and making it worse. It has been... Oh yeah, no, like, Matto, I literally said this, like, not even 15 minutes ago. Literally went on a whole fucking spiel about this. In the beta, there were only two types of currency. Gold and Gleamium. One was a currency you could grind for free. The other one was one that you had to pay for. It was a good system, and they really shouldn't have changed it. Yeah, again, completely agree with everything here. Completely agree. If I couldn't have played Tom and Jerry right away, I probably wouldn't have stuck around. People definitely would quit the moment they realize that they can't get their character. Like, take Raven, for example. A character that people were clearly hyped for. People really, really liked the new Raven design. And, I mean, I don't really blame them one bit. I mean, again, do I have to say it? Fine as hell. Anyway. When people realized that you, like, new players, right? Realize that you can't have an easy way to unlock Raven for free, they fucking dipped. Because she was at the very end of the fighter road. All the way past every fucking character. You would need to put in hundreds of hours to get to the end. Just to unlock the character that you wanted. Or you pay $10 and get her that way. Cough up the money, gooner. But no one's going to do that. No one is going to go into a game that they have never played, see a character they like, realize that they can't play her without spending real money, and spend that real money. No one's going to do that. They're going to fucking dip out and say, nah, I gave up on MultiVersus because the character that I wanted to play wasn't really an easy thing to unlock, and I had to pay real money for them. And I wasn't going to do that because game's fucking dying anyway. Exactly. That is the whole thing that I'm getting at. It is a terrible system. It did not give any sort of confidence that these guys knew what they were doing. And I am just forever upset that this is how things have been. Also for whatever reason, her model is slightly larger in this. Pretty sure. Is that still the case? Yes, it is. Like, it's more close to the camera for some reason. I don't know why. That shit's weird. Yeah. Characters just, unlocking them has gotten significantly worse. Obviously, that is just... That is one thing that they did wrong. Let's go ahead and start talking about the fucking battle passes now. So, the battle passes have always kind of had a lot of filler stuff, you know. Back in the beta, they had 2 tiers, though. So, It went up to, I think, like tier 45, but it had a free track and a premium track. And the free track didn't really have a whole lot of good stuff, but the premium track had a lot of skins. It had a lot of like boosters and stuff like that. It had things that people wanted, and if you put the money into it, you wouldn't be able to buy another one because there was no Gleamium in the Battle Pass either, which I think was a huge blow to the beta. But they were confident. They understood that these products were good because guess what? People were willing to forgive that if the game was still good. Like, look at Marvel Rivals, for example. Their battle passes are weird because you don't earn enough currency to get the next one. But people are willing to put up with it because not only is the content in that battle pass good, the game is also good. So I'm willing to put up with that. And guess what? You still get a little bit. Bro, I haven't even gotten into fucking Attack Decay. Oh my goodness. Attack Decay, man. Like, oh, I fucking wish that that system was still in place. It goes back into how much they changed from beta to release. The amount of infinites that happened on release was so ridiculous because guess what? There was no Attack Decay. Instead, we have move lockouts, which feel significantly worse. And like, here's the horrible thing. Attack Decay still does exist. It lowers the damage, but it doesn't lower the knockback. And it doesn't lower the hit stun either. Those were the things that prevented the infinites. But when they changed that, they didn't realize that, and then you get shit like the Iron Giant Taunt Infinite, which will forever live in infamy now as one of the funniest fucking infinites I've ever seen in a video game ever. Iron Giant could grab someone, he could taunt to cancel the grab, and then grab them again, and just keep doing it. And it's just incredibly funny how they had a year to sort all these things out. But that was still something that slipped through the cracks. And it's one of many infinites that Iron Giant had on release. Because he had like 5. I'm being so serious when I say this. He had like 5 fucking infinites. That character was so stupid. Nowadays he's alright, but oh my god. And like Iron Giant was a problem child for MultiVersus in the beta as well. Character was pretty fucking good because he was really tanky and dealt quite a bit of damage. And he was also pretty fucking large, so he took up quite a bit of space. Now, in the full release, they made the characters larger, which means that the problems that Iron Giant had are even further exasperated. Somehow, they didn't realize making the Iron Giant bigger would be a problem. Why? How does that happen? How do you think that, yes, I think making the character that's pretty large for a platform fighter character, I think making them larger is actually a really good idea. No, again, Matto, I loved the movement in the beta. I genuinely loved it. It was fast, it was fluid, it was fun. And the people that say that they didn't like it because of how fast it was, shit, the game just might not have been for you. And that's understandable. But it was fun. And it felt really, really good because no other game felt like that. No other platform fighter had that kind of movement or will ever have the kind of movement that MultiVersus has. Every other game loves to copy Smash and its movement. Every single one. Rivals of Aether, fucking Brawlhalla, Smash, obviously. Every other platform fighter, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, every other one copies that movement. Because guess what? That's what the competitive players like. They like melee movement, so people try to copy melee. MultiVersus didn't do that. It had a really fun movement system, and that I really, really liked. And that made the game a lot more interesting for me, because other platform fighters just don't click with me as well. Obviously, this game is significantly easier than every other platform fighter, I get that. But the movement clicked for me in a way that others don't. I kind of hate that, because it means that I will never be good at, like, say, Smash or Rivals or whatever the fuck. But MultiVersus was the one that clicked with me. Then we get to the full release, and the movement is sluggish. It's a lot slower. Things just don't feel the same. The movement is nowhere near as good as it used to be. It sucks. It really sucks. It's terrible. Too much fucking hit pause. Too much fucking, like, slow on the slow fall. Like, it's supposed to be a fast fall. Why is it slow? Characters just don't move the same. Animations don't feel the same. It all just sucks, basically. Obviously, over time, they've improved it. I'm not going to sit here and say that there haven't been improvements between patches, because there have been. But that's also come with a plethora of other problems. And those other problems are things like bugs. And I'm not talking about the bunny. The amount of bugs in this game is insane. It makes Rumble look like a complete product. It is just it's insane. It's legitimately insane. If there is, it probably doesn't work like an actual block. Okay, do you mean like shields or what? Because like I'll get into that soon. Because yeah, that's a whole nother fucking thing. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Fuck, what was I talking about? All right, bugs. The amount of character bugs that people have documented. People even made a whole ass Twitter account dedicated to like letting player first games know that, hey, guess what? There's bugs in this game that we want you to fix, because they're so incompetent at actually fixing them. And every time that one would get fixed, 5 more would show up. And I don't know if it's because the team just doesn't have like the technical knowledge to fix them, or if, you know, they're just severely understaffed so they can't fix them. I don't fucking know. Wait, there's a bug tier list? Nah, alright. I gotta fucking see that. Because that is funny. That is actually fucking funny. Oh, man. That kind of sums up MultiVersus in a nutshell right there. That's hilarious. I'm sure that's really old, but like I would love to see that come back after like the game stops getting updates, like before the game goes offline and shit. I want to see that, because god damn it, that is really funny. But yeah, one of the things that drove people away that I know, especially people, you know, that like Dingo Dial, people that, were, fans of Gremlins, the bugs were the main contributor to, people leaving. By people, I mean Casey. Casey fucking left the game because the bugs got to be too much. And they were never seemingly gonna get fixed. And honestly, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for turning away because of that. It's not fucking... It's not a good feeling to feel like the character that you're playing just doesn't work properly. I mean, shit, I've complained about Cortex's poly shots not working constantly, and I know the feel of basic shit just not working on your character. It's not fun. It's not fun at all, and that's a pretty reasonable reason to leave a game. Oh yeah, Rue players have it real fucking bad with how fucking bugged his bomb is, or just in his kit in general. The fucking movement just doesn't work as well in matchmaking. The bombs just don't hit their target sometimes. I think partially because of lag, and also partially because the server just doesn't register that it hits someone, and also because Lamau game has a lot of no regs. It just sucks. I'll only play Rumble casually nowadays. I'm obviously retired from TAP. I have no real interest in playing it competitively. If that ever does come back, maybe I'd join a team, but I would have to commit to it. And at this point, I don't really feel like I would actually commit to playing Rumble competitively. So I'm just kind of an outsider. But at the very least, I'm only 110 levels away from unlocking Balloon Crash. Then Orman can shut the fuck up about me not having that skin. I don't know when I'm gonna get it. It could be in like maybe 6 months from now. That's what I'm thinking, because that's how. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Look, man, anything is fun with friends, and that includes Rumble. It just kind of depends on who you're going up against, because, like, if I'm going up against people like fucking Mode, obviously I'm not going to have a good time, because not only are they going to, you know, just pub stomp, they're also going to just send fucking messages everywhere being like, oh, hey, look, I fucking beat you, haha, and then say slurs. And then it's just like, okay. I don't care, man. Congrats, you fucking beat me in a dead game. Cool. Very cool. For some reason, these guys think that I have to care about this shit. I don't get it. That's just how it be. Anyway, right, I got completely sidetracked. I was talking about movement in beta from full release. That shit sucked. That's a big fucking complaint of why people fucking dipped. That is like one of the main reasons why people dipped from the full release when they saw the game come back, because like shit felt worse. It just wasn't good. And people that loved beta MultiVersus, I bet they're kicking their feet. I bet they're fucking jumping for joy at the fact that this game is finally dying because of the choices that Player First Games made. Which honestly, if someone was committed that much to being a hater of this game, yo, at this point, they have my full respect. They fucking saw the fucking, they saw the light before anyone else. And I don't give a fuck what the MultiVersus community has to say about people being negative about the game, about people naysaying and being like, oh yeah, Player First Games knows what they're doing. They are going to fix this game. They're going to make this game last. You all got played. I'm sorry. Before I go any further, I must say, Gems, I love you, man. You're a great guy. I'll forever be happy that I met you in Rumble. So, I apologize in advance for the things that I am about to say, if they do include you. But yeah, look, it's a small community, like Rumble. But it's still larger than Rumble because, well, MultiVersus is a larger game than Rumble. Even now, I would still say MultiVersus is definitely the larger game. Now, is that going to be the case after May? Well, no, but MultiVersus definitely had more of a fan base, even if small, than, say, yeah. So I can't really dog on it too much. But what I will say is the constant positive, like, toxic positivity. That's what it is. There was so much of that. And I see that shit a lot in the Crash and Spyro community. But I saw it so much more with the fucking MultiVersus accounts. Oh my fucking god, I've never wanted to tear my hair out because of how much people loved to complain about complaining. It felt like I was in an infinite cycle. Because I would see things that player-first games would do. I'd be like, they definitely could have done this better. And then you'd have, like, 10 other fuckers jumping down your throat. Obviously, this is hypothetical, but... You would have people being like, oh, it's actually just not that bad. It's, they're gonna do better. Player-first games, good. Trust. When we were calling out stuff that very clearly was a detriment to the game experience, to how the game functioned. People would always try to, and I think that this is the par for the course with everything, really. People always try to find the light in something, and try to see the bright side, and all that other fun stuff. And I think that, in a way, it's good to have another perspective. But you also kind of have to realize that, you know, this is a corporation, man. They don't care about you. They just care about their bottom dollar and whether or not you're giving them money. And I've seen, and I remember seeing a fucking tweet that I wish was bait. I really wish it was bait. But it was a tweet where it's just like, people who did not pay for Gleamium and MultiVersus, did not buy stuff, they are the reason why the game sucks and why we're getting to where we are. And I'm just sitting here like, brother, if the game was good, I'd probably spend money on it. But the game doesn't deserve my money. I'm getting scammed, and I notice I'm getting scammed. I'm not going to give in to a scam. Yeah, that tweet made the rounds. That tweet fucking made the rounds. Okay, there were several tweets that made the rounds when it came to MultiVersus and people bashing on MultiVersus. Which, honestly, some of it was fair, some of it was not fair, and then some of it was just, it felt like fucking sabotage. It felt like maintaining a fucking agenda, man. I remember that. I remember that, Orman. In a way, okay, I'm not gonna lie, in a way, I kind of regret giving you that $5 for the Gleamium, because, if I didn't, you probably wouldn't have been so attached to this game. And there would probably be less holes in your wall. It's... Okay, fine. The controller that was already broken would be less broken. Better? Yeah, okay, that's the one. That's the one. I had to remember which one it was. Okay, fine, fair. I don't remember what the hole in the wall was from. It's oh, fuck. Right. Anyway, I haven't even... Oh, that's what that's from. Right, I forgot. Look, I'm just saying he's my answer to Crash. But, I mean, shit, if you're able to make Brio work against Crash a bit more, then hey, man, go for it. Just fucking go for it. Because, I can't make Brio work against Crash. That shit is just... That's a fucking anomaly for me. Right. Right, I was talking about the fucking Battle Pass, wasn't I? I was, actually. Also, can I unlock this? Oh, I can. I mean, I might as well just get the Marceline skin. I don't think I'm actually gonna fucking play the game, but I want the skin. I might as well. Like, okay, genuinely, what am I gonna do with this fucking Gleamium? But also, what am I gonna do with the Marceline skin? That's a good point. That's a good point. What even is in here? I mean, obviously, I'll get my Gleamium back. Actually, wait, was there a TNJ emote? I thought I saw something for TNJ. Oh, there is. Okay, that's good. Alright, okay. I hope that you're able to get all the skins locally, because that's how the beta was. They still have not changed that, by the way. Local play still has no skins unlocked unless you unlock them yourself. Like, okay, hold on. Let me just boot up a fucking local thing, right? So, like, I don't know, say Black Adam, right? There's my skins that I have unlocked, but, like, I can't fucking play as The Rock. Who knows? Maybe it'll change. Maybe. I'm hoping that it does. If it doesn't, then game's cooked. Rip El Bozo, all that fun stuff. I don't really care at that point. Right, I was talking about how shit the Battle Pass became. Okay. Son of a bitch, I'm gonna get sidetracked again. That name will forever be the funniest thing to come out of all of this, Orban. Player First Games. When their game was made like this. And again, at the very start of the beta, they had goodwill. These guys actually kind of listened. Like, yeah, there were some bugs, there were some balancing issues, yes, but it felt like they were actually listening. And then, as time went on, they stopped listening. They just kind of plugged their ears and said, fuck you guys, we're not listening to you anymore. Here's an incredibly buffed Superman. I'm gonna let him terrorize you. What's that? That's not enough? Here, we'll buff Harley. We're gonna make her hitboxes extra thick. Because that's what the people want. They want to suffer. They want to suffer at the hands of Harley Quinn. And I'm sure that there's many people that do. But it was definitely not me. But yeah, that name has only gotten more ironic as time has gone on. And at this point, it's a joke. Like, you cannot feasibly say that this game is player first in any way. Okay, that one always fucking gets me. The fact that Wonder Woman's lasso had a cooldown, then it had no cooldown in the full release, then they put it back on a cooldown because, hey, guess what? Infinite spamming lasso was kind of obnoxious. Then they gave it no cooldown again! That shit will forever piss me off. Like, do you not realize the bullshit that you're doing with this character? I swear, Wonder Woman was someone's baby. At this point, I don't even know if it was Nakat. Raven was Nakat's baby. And Raven is actually fairly balanced. I can't say the same for Wonder Woman. That bitch is fucking ridiculous, even now. Obviously not the problem child that she used to be, but goddamn. Fucking ridiculous. Right, anyway, before I get sidetracked again, the fucking battle passes. I already mentioned that, you know, the premium tier for the beta did not have Gleamium in it. So, that was one of the main complaints of the Battle Pass back then, and how grindy it was. By the way, any grind for the Battle Pass in the full release is literally like a fraction of the grind that was the Season 2 Beta Battle Pass. Those were dire times. Like, it took hundreds of thousands of XP to get a tier. It was so many matches. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely insane the amount of time you had to put into the game to get through a battle pass. It was fucking terrible. And I look back on the beta with good and think of good things a lot, but the one thing that I can't do is look back on the beta battle passes and think they were good in terms of progression, because holy fucking shit, they weren't. They were awful. So instead of making people, grind the battle pass, they decided to have them grind for characters instead, which I don't think is much better, but, like, both of these things suck. So then we get to the full release. They realized, oh shit, the way that we did battle passes was kind of bad. How about we actually put Gleamium in them? And that was a good move. I actually really liked that, because it meant that I could get the next one for free. And honestly, free is pretty good, but it also means that they're not making money. So they had to, make money somehow. And I get that. But then they were just like, I'm going to put the character in the battle pass. Which, honestly, again, I wasn't that upset about. I know that was a pain point for a lot of people, because you'd just be getting a battle pass for a character, and people that are coming into the game probably wouldn't want to spend $10 to unlock a battle pass and a character. But as someone that played the game a lot, I mean, it meant the character was free and I could play them the day of, so I didn't really mind it that much. I mean, it was certainly better than the Fighter Road bullshit that we have now. Even though technically you can unlock them for free via the Fighter Road, like, even then you're still not going to be able to play them right away unless you cough up the $10 anyway, which I think is still dumb. I think I'm forever going to be upset about that, but... And then we get to Season 4, and how they began doing battle passes. No, instead, we're gonna do 2 battle passes, and they're not going to have the character in them anymore. Instead, it's gonna be a elusive skin, because that's what really makes us money, is those elusive skins that the people really want to spend money on, because they have the fear of missing out. That's what's gonna really drive sales. And, well, you see, other than, like, one Tom and Jerry emote, and maybe a skin or two, this shit sucks. Like, this is ass. Like, if I had to spend money on this, I wouldn't. I just straight up would not. If it wasn't free, I wouldn't do it. It's fucking insane. It's insane to me that they would think that. But obviously, I know why they're doing it. They did it because they had the fear of getting shut down, and they wanted people to spend as much money as possible, or they wanted to get as much money as possible before the game does shut down, because it was inevitable. They kind of realized that, and that's why, this season is a fair bit longer than the others. That doesn't make it right, though. And then oh my god, there's still so much shit to get to, man. So, and we have... Oh god, alright. So I talked about characters, I talked about Fighter Road, I talked about the Battle Pass. Events, I mean, they exist, I guess. They give rewards and shit, and, yeah, I mean... They weren't fine, and now I think that they're more fine, but, like, they're still not great. They don't, like, super incentivize people. And then, obviously, you know, there's the elusive skins that come with the more recent events, which I think is absolute dog shit. I think that the ability to unlock a character skin of your choosing, I think that that's a good system. I'm glad that that's a thing, because it means that I get the reward that I want, and that's good. I like that. What I don't like is the fact that I feel forced to spend all of my currency that I get from playing the game, which, by the way, is very limited, on stuff like this, and not on the other things that I could want in this. It's dumb. I hate it. You know, fear of missing out and all that shit. It's quite stinky. Yeah, events got worse. Unlocking characters got worse. Basically, everything kind of just got worse. And the only thing that really didn't get worse was the movements. The movement got better. But that's literally the only thing that got better. Bugs got worse. I mean, like, not the bunny. Though I guess technically he did get nerfed. Balance got worse. Probably. Well, okay. Like, there aren't any infinites in the game now. I think the game's actually okay in terms of balancing. I wouldn't say that it's good, because I don't think a game like this is ever truly going to be good with balancing. But it's still, you know, okay, I guess. Certainly not worth playing, but I mean, it's not as bad as it was when, you know, the game came out and stuff. But that doesn't mean that there isn't still bullshit. I'm gonna say this: Shaggy still exists, still not balanced. Smith, I don't know what they've changed about him. Probably nothing. I mean, all the patches are really nothing burgers. Let's see, who else is kind of busted? Jack's fine now. I still don't like Morty, even though, like, he's definitely a bit on the worse side now. Still don't like him. I fucking hate him, actually. Arya's still always going to be good. Banana Guard, I think, is fine now. Batman, he exists. I think that he's okay, I guess. Look, Shy. I assure you, you are not the only Morty that makes me feel that way. I have gone through a lot of Mortys in my time. And it's the amount of them that I've had to deal with that makes it feel so bad. Black Adam, I think, is fine nowadays, but I also play him, so yeah. Bugs is still probably really good. Again, I haven't played in a hot minute, so I don't really actually know where everyone is on the tier list. Finn, look, Flacoco still makes him look fucking busted. Garnet, I think she got I think she got whiff changes. I'm not 100% sure, but if so, that's probably what she needed. I think she's fine. Gizmo, I hate fighting him because no one fucking plays him, but he hasn't been a problem for a long time. Harley, oh my fucking god. The words that I can say about this bitch. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Harley will forever be the fucking bane of my existence. I fucking hate Harley. I will always hate Harley. This game has made me hate this character so fucking much that it's going to transcend any other medium that she's in. I see Harley, I'm going to fucking cringe. I am going to blow up. I will not act like an incel because that might be breaking TOS. But I'm not going to be very happy about seeing her. Because, oh my god, I fucking hate Harley. She has never been balanced. Even when she was underpowered, she was still annoying to fucking deal with. And when she was busted, which she is right now, by the way, she is still busted. I think that out of all these characters, I think that she is probably the most busted, probably next to Shaggy and Smith. She is just the fucking worst. Her side air still fucking infinites people, I think. Or at the very least, if it doesn't, it sure fucking feels like it. Her Nair has armor break for some fucking reason, which means that it's just fucking obnoxious. Her fucking loops and her fucking up air, it's just, oh my god, this character fucking just, I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. I hate Harley. Nothing in the world will ever change that for me. This game single-handedly ruined this character for me. Fuck you. I fucking hate you. Women deserve better than you. Anyway. Iron Giant's not that bad. Jake has gotten buffed. I know that he used to be a bit brain dead when Season 4 came out. I think they fixed that. I'm not 100% sure. Jason, my boy. My man right here. Let me tell you, I fucking love this guy. He's a little bit on the OP side. I don't fucking care. They made changes to him with Season 4. I think it was Season 4. And, like, let me tell you, man. He's still just a fucking joy. I love the fact that Jason is in this game. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, this is gonna be the second game that gets canceled with Jason in it this year. Actually, no, wait. No, it got Friday the 13th got fucking taken offline last year. Damn, Jason really is having a fucking unlucky streak. Holy shit. I feel so fucking bad for the guy. He deserves better, honestly. Holy shit. Look. LeBron, love your gameplay. I think I saw a picture of him with P. Diddy once, though. Don't know how to feel about that one. Maybe they should just replace him with Lola for, like, the last thing. I don't know if that's true or not, though. I don't want to go too deeply into it. Look, if he is, then, well, shit. But either way, LeBron, he was the first character that got added post-launch of the beta. And he made me realize, or at the very least, made me realize that this game is fucking insane when it comes to character picks, because never would I think that I could play as a real fucking human being, LeBron fucking James, in a fucking Smash game. That's insane. That is the kind of energy that I love. Or at the very least that I loved about this roster. That shit I liked. Character picks like Nubia I did not like. Because there were so many other characters that they could have chosen. I know why they chose Nubia. I'll get there, but like, come on, man. Marceline, people wanted her. I understand why she's here. She was fucking busted on release. Everyone was just like, "Oh no, she's not gonna be OP. We don't know that for sure. It was just a pro player playing her and labbing her for like 10 minutes. Like, what do you mean she's OP? That couldn't happen." Insta in this day, nah, that can't be real. I'm gonna check War Room right now. Holy shit, it's real. God, I can't believe Rumble's gonna outlive MultiVersus. That's fucking crazy. Oh, fuck, dude. I just had a friend message me and be like, fucking rip MultiVersus. Yet another game you decide to get good at just fade into dust. Brother, this is my fate. It is my fate to be good at games that fucking no one plays. The first game that I got really good at, Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault Online. That shit fucking died pretty fucking quick because legitimately barely anyone played it. But you know what? I had a fun time. It's still a fun game. Fuck you. I don't care that people consider it the worst Ratchet and Clank game, because it's definitely not the worst Ratchet and Clank game, because fucking Secret Agent Clank exists. You can't tell me otherwise. Anyway, fucking Nitro Fueled. I was pretty good at that game. I wasn't, like, you know, in the comp scene or anything like that, but I would definitely consider myself decent, you know? I put, like, 4,100 hours into the game on my main account, you know, another 500 on the Switch. I'd consider myself decent at the game. Support gets cut in, like, 10 months. Let me tell you, not happy. But at the very least, I met people from that game. I met Casey. I met others. I met people that I don't talk to, that I don't like. But you know what? I met people through that game, and I'm grateful for it. And we get to MultiVersus, another game that I ended up getting pretty good at. I consider myself really, really good at the MultiVersus beta. Not like pro level. I'm not like a top 1 or anything, but I considered myself pretty good. Then the game dies. Then the game comes back, and I'm still okay at the game. I never made it past Diamond, but that's because I didn't really want to put up with Ranked. If I did, I probably could have hit Masters. But it just wasn't worth the anguish. As for that, yeah, game's set to die soon. And then we have Rumble. I was one of the best Cortexes in Rumble when the game came out. And I still am probably a top 5 Cortex, probably because there's only like 5 people playing Cortex. And, well, we all know how Rumble went. Oh, and I'm not the number 1 engine now. I would say that I was back when the game was getting support. But I'd say people like Joel would probably surpass me because, you know, I don't play anymore. And people like him, they have adopted a blocker engine style, and I'm more of a support blocker engine. Because I like roaming around the map, I like doing the boosting thing. It's kind of how I feel engine should play, you know, like I feel like there should be another dedicated blocker. And engine should be the one to help with that, because, you know, he covers some characters' weaknesses pretty well. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Basically, I am just forever cursed to be good at games that no one fucking plays. And I hate it. I really fucking despise that. What I want is to be good at Marvel Rivals so that I break that fucking curse, because otherwise, oh my god, I'm gonna have to wait until the next dead game comes in, and I'm gonna fucking cry, man. I'm gonna fucking cry. Oh yeah, Marvin is pretty cool. I love Marvin. He's underpowered. I wish they'd buff him. Morty can stay bad. Literally, who? My beloved. I'm going to be so sad when this game goes away and I can't look at this Raven design ever again. I'm also going to be sad when this game goes, because that means that fucking Rain Dog goes with it, and this guy deserves better, man. Look at him. Look at how fucking adorable he is. This guy fucking deserves his own collectathon platformer, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Literally just make a fucking game with him where I'm just platforming around and doing other fun stuff. Look at him. He's fucking adorable. He's gonna be lost media soon. Do you know how fucking sad that is? That this little guy is gonna be lost media? I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be so sad. Look at him. Look at how adorable he is. He's great. I love him. Look at him. I'm gonna go through all of these. Look at him. Look at this dapper-looking motherfucker. Look at him. Let him cook. And by the way, I actually bought the skin with real money back in the beta. Because obviously, you know, Chef Engine, I kind of have to, you know, keep up that trend. But also because, like, let him cook! Well, I could let you cook if you cough up your gems, you know, for, say, a small fee. This one just kind of looks like Spyro. You may want to get that cleaned out. It's blue. What more do you want from me? It's blue. You could have any kind of design. If it's blue, I love it. This shit just looks cool. Like, look at the star pattern. That shit's dope. Look at him. He's ready to just keep a watchful eye on things because guess what? He's a good boy. He's tired as fuck. He's probably suffering from narcolepsy, but you know what? He's giving it his all anyway because he's just that good of a boy. I think they finally added sound effects to this. That's actually good, I guess. I mean, it's great that they celebrated this. Skin is lacking a couple of sound effects, I feel, but I mean, hey, it's still good. And then look at him. He fucking upgraded. He's a fucking Chad now. I fucking love him. Look at this guy. He's fucking great. Look at him. Look at him celebrate the fucking new year. I fucking love him. Look, I'm gonna say it again. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this little guy being so festive. I fucking love it. And he's ready for Shark Week 2. What can't he do? Like, the skin potential for Rain Dog in a fucking, like, other game, it's endless. It truly is. Like, costume-wise for, like, you know, kind of like Crash 4, like how that game has a whole bunch of skins for Crash and Coco. Just give him something like that. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. I'm gonna miss Rain Dog. I'm really gonna miss him. Balance-wise, Nubia's fine. I think she's good, but, like, you know, not, like, OP or anything, at least as far as I'm aware. Raven is, honestly, I'd say balanced. Like, the only thing that I can really say that I don't like about her is the fact that her rock projectile goes, it doesn't go through platforms. If it did, I'd actually really like that. That's the only thing that I change about her. Her side air is pretty good. Maybe a bit too uncontestable, but other than that, I think it's fine. Rick is fucking insane. Like, this character is fucking busted as shit. But he's also difficult to play and, like, get good at, so I don't really mind it. Jack is not as good as he used to be, thank God. But, yeah, you know, I mean, he's okay. Oh my god, where do I even begin with you? They refuse to nerf you reasonably. You should be, like, significantly lower than you actually are. Why is it that the easiest character, one of the most brain-dead characters, the character with a meme that I actually like, and a recognizable character at that, just so happens to be the best character in the game? Why? Why would you do this to me? Actually, Crash Syndrome, yes. This game had that going for... Well, I suppose it didn't, because Superman was the busted one in the beta. Shaggy is this game's Crash. 100%. I hate it. I mean, it does, but at the same time, with how basic his kit is, he can afford to hold back a little bit more. Okay. I liked playing the Steven in the beta. He was really, really fun, you know, coupled with the movement and all that shit. It's really good. I don't like him as much in the full release. And he's significantly better than he was in the beta. And that makes me sad. I wish I enjoyed him more. As a character, can't stand him. Oh my god, his voice is fucking grating as shit. I really, really don't like him. But his kit's really fun. I can't even deny. Absolute gremlin energy. This is Casey's main. This was Belle's main. This is many, many people's mains. I think Trobo also main Stripe. Fun character. He's really good in 2s. I think he's actually meta in 2s, or at the very least was before Shields came. And, like, character is just really good, and I'm glad that he has a functioning kit, mostly, unlike the beta, because before, with Stripe, he was severely undercooked. Like, half of his kit was stupid broken, and the other half just did not work at all. And with the full release, his kit actually started to function, like, with itself, and it actually is pretty good. I'm glad that Stripe is in a playable state. I still have PTSD from this motherfucker. I still cannot stand Superman from the beta. I will forever have fucking night terrors of this guy. Like, him and Harley are the fucking banes of my existence when it comes to this game. Superman less so nowadays, but back then, oh my fucking god. This guy is still the... Legends will go down about MultiVersus beta Superman as being the single most broken character, I think, in any fucking fighting game ever. Okay, maybe not that much. I think Virgil is still up there. Okay, any platform fighter. I think that's probably better. Yeah, I would definitely say that he's up there with Brawl Meta Knight. Definitely. Yeah, I don't really like him in the beta, and nowadays he's fine. I think they're scared to really make him like super good. Like he's still good, but like he's not like top tier. I hope. I don't know. I haven't checked the tier lists recently. My boy has gone through so many fucking changes. Oh my god, where do I even begin? And he has several bugs. He has several fucking... He's had several changes made to him. Honestly, I don't think they really know what they're doing with Taz. Velo hit the nail on the head ages ago, and he doesn't even play this game anymore. He's busy maining Rocket and Magneto and Rivals, which honestly, good for him. I love Taz. He's such a fucking gremlin. He's such a fucking goober. I love this guy. He radiates energy that I don't get anywhere else. Like, the closest thing that I get to him is Crash. And I fucking hate Crash and Rumble, so I'm sticking with Taz. Taz is horribly misunderstood. He is a good guy, and he did not deserve the nerf that he got all the way back then, even though I think the Tornado was still pretty fucking good. Like, I think that it's still good. Well, okay, so, like, going from Beta Taz, he had problems, but even then, I still made him work. He clicked with me, and I didn't look back. Him, Tom and Jerry, Rain Dog, those were my boys. And Black Adam and Marvin. Those five were the characters that I mained back in the beta, and I still wish that I put more time into Marvin in the full release, but it is what it is. This character has had so many bugs over time. Sometimes his kit just refuses to fucking work. And, like, they've been detrimental bugs, too. Like, there was a period of time where he couldn't fucking pick up anvils. There was a period of time when his fucking Tornado would just randomly drop people out. There was a time when, using his boot just straight up did not fucking work. There's just so many bugs with this character. Oh, and... Not only that, but I also remember when his mouth got fucking... Or no, his animation, when he was here in the, character select screen, got fucked. Because it would constantly... Okay, so with, what skin was it? It was this one. With the Beachcomber Taz. It was bugged where it would loop incorrectly. And so... what PFG did was they fixed it, but then they made that happen on all of his other skins. And so all of his other skins, other than this one, had that same looping bug for, I think, the entirety of, like, what, season... I don't think it was the entirety of season 3. I think it was, like, midway through season 3 it got fixed. I think, but, like, the fact it still took so long to fix something that was fucking bugged from the very beginning on one skin, and then they made it happen to all the other skins. It just... the incompetence. It shows. I hate it. I hate it so much. Taz deserves better. This character, he is one of my prides and joy. I love him. He deserves to be top. Well, okay, he doesn't deserve to be top tier, but like, I wish he was top tier. Kind of. Maybe a little. Kinda. As for the Joker, I'm glad he's no longer top tier. He can stay near the bottom. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the top. Fuck you. I hate you. But you're fun. And I wish that I had actually played you a bit more. Also, Mark Hamill voices him, so, like, you know, can't really go wrong there. I can't stand the Powerpuff Girls. I like them as characters. I don't think that they're bad as characters. But their kit has been nothing but pain since they got in this game. I can't fucking say... They're okay right now, but that could very easily change in a few days. With whatever the fuck they decide to do with them next, because I can't fucking stand the Powerpuff Girls. I knew they were going to be busted from the moment they showed up with multiple 0 to deaths. And they even had one where if you just kept using the fucking Rainbow Dash perk, which I think was renamed Acrobattack. Yeah, they changed that name, I think, to avoid lawsuit from Hasbro. It basically allowed you to dash attack in the air, which sounds okay on paper as a perk, but then you could literally just drag people to their death constantly. It was just it was ridiculous, and that was the easiest thing that they could do. They have been nothing but pain. They have had nothing but 0 to deaths the entire time that they have existed, which is par for the course for something like the Powerpuff Girls. I must admit, it's very in character. But, oh my god, do I hate fighting them. And oh my god, do people hate fighting Tom and Jerry. But you know what? You know what I say to that when I'm playing them? I don't use loops. So therefore, when you fight me, it's a fair fight. Now, obviously, T&J still have a bit of bullshit up their sleeve. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't care. I don't put you in an endless cutscene. You're allowed to fight back. And sure enough, people do fight back. But it makes it more fun. And I enjoy playing these guys. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have touched this game. Just straight up. I fucking love these two. I love their wacky and zany cartoon antics. I love their mousetrap. I love the dynamite. I love the Jerry Rocket. I love everything about them. Aside from, like, the paddle ball in the full release. I don't really like that. But I love these two. These are... These guys are just great. They make me want to go and watch the old cartoons again. The better ones, I mean. And just kind of think about how things went wrong with this game. They did Velma so fucking dirty in the full release, which honestly I'm fine with, again, because she was incredibly busted in the beta. She was, I think, one of the best twos characters in the beta. Not so much ones. She kind of suffered in ones, but in twos, yeah, she was pretty fucking insane. Then they nerfed her really hard in the full release. And, yeah, you know what? The game is better for it. But even then, not a whole lot of people play Velma. Again, it's for the best. Character can cook, though. Character can definitely cook. I've gotten beat by quite a few different Velmas. Like, people that are dedicated to her, god damn, they are fucking insane. And then there's you. I didn't have a problem with you in the beta. In fact, I actually enjoyed playing you in the beta. I don't feel the same way now. In fact, I really, really hate what they did to you. I wish that they did not fucking make the changes that they made to you, because it makes me feel nothing but pain. Because this fucking skin right here, single-handedly one of the best fucking skins in the game. This design fucks so hard. I love it. I genuinely love it. I have been wanting to buy this skin for so long. I wanted to do it back in the beta because I genuinely loved the skin. But I never did, obviously. And the reason is A, because the game was going to shut down soon, and B, when I found out the state of Wonder Woman in this game, I didn't want to bother. I don't like playing super busted characters in MultiVersus. It makes me feel like I'm cheating. Makes me feel like I haven't earned my skill. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. This skin from the Battle Pass was pretty good, though. I really like the, Darknight's death metal skins in general. I really like them. They're good. But yeah, she will be forever a good character, and, I don't like it. I don't like it. At all. Fuck. Let's see. I've talked about a lot here. I'm probably not actually gonna play more matches. No. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe another day. I am just going to forever be really, really sad that MultiVersus is just going to end up being one of the biggest generational fumbles of all time. There have been so many times when this game could do better. There has been so many ways that this game could have done better. I just wish that it did, and that the devs listened, and that any sort of management that kept them from doing things better didn't fuck that up. I mean, part of it was probably Warner Bros., and another part was also probably just the upper management, or even just the people at Player First Games that worked on it. I don't know. I don't actually know who to blame. I'm hoping that maybe one day we actually do find that out, because being in the Crash and Spyro community, it's kind of spoiled me a little bit, because we get to see things like the inner workings of what happened in development for those games. With the Liam Robertson videos, on Did You Know Gaming. I think that those were a really good retrospective, and showed us that Toys for Bob, not only did they bite off more than they could chew, but they were also royally fucked over by Activision and all that stuff. Which, I mean, we already kind of knew, but we didn't know the extent of it, and oh my fucking god, does it make me so upset. The extent of the bullshit that they went through. And so I just kind of wonder the same thing about Player First Games. I wonder, truly, who is to blame for this? I mean, I can definitely put part of the blame, I'd say, on Player First Games with their horrible balancing. So, the balance team, I'd say, fuck you. You guys suck. You guys don't know how to balance a game. I don't know whether I would say, management of this game, the higher-ups were to blame. The people at Warner Brothers wanting them to make more money, so they keep doing, the super exploity bullshit. I don't know who the fuck to point my finger at. And I hope that maybe one day I'll know. Because truly, whoever it is that I have to blame, they're the cause of easily the biggest generational fumble of all time. And I will keep reiterating that. Games like Concord flopped, but they flopped so hard that they were out. Concord lived for 2 weeks, and that was it. It certainly had a whole lot of time to cook. It had a lot of development time. It had a lot of money behind it. And obviously it went out with a whimper, and that's that's how that went. But no one ever saw potential in Concord. It was always going to be mediocre at best. It was never going to be good. I can't say the same for MultiVersus. MultiVersus had the potential to be good. It was good at one point. But that potential, any goodwill, squandered. And that's why I would deem it one of the biggest fumbles in gaming. Obviously in a different way from Concord, but still in a similar vein. That's how I would view MultiVersus, because at the very least, this game had a budget. I can't say the same for games like Rumble, which obviously was just like made with reused assets from Crash 4 and like whatever the fuck else they could scramble, like say shit from Reignited and stuff like that. You can tell that game had no budget, and they were just kind of trying to do the best with what they had, even if it had shit balancing. This game, you could very clearly tell, had a budget at one point, but they kind of, wasted it because not everyone bought into their shit. And then they kept being like, okay, well, we still need to make a profit, so let's get greedier and greedier. And sure enough, not a whole lot of people bought into that. And it's incredibly disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing to see the game that I love, or loved,
Now listen here, son. It's time to choose
become what it has been. And become what it will be. I'll forever be grateful for this game, for giving me these characters to play. But, man, I'll forever be sad at the fate of this game. And, I'll try it in Season 5. I'll see how it goes. I'm certainly probably not gonna enjoy the state that it's in, because it's still gonna probably be ass. But who knows? Maybe they'll cook. And that is 100% copium speaking, because I doubt that they're going to cook. But it's the game's final hurrah. I might as well just give it a shot, see what happens, and we'll see how that goes from there. I didn't even fucking touch the game. I literally didn't even fucking play a match. I just sat here talking for like 2 hours about nonsense. This is really just a massive yappuccino. But who knows? Maybe I'll fucking upload this to YouTube at some point. Okay, I just realized that I'm not done from my initial rant on the state of MultiVersus, because I realized I left a couple things out, and I need to make sure that I get everything in here, because this is literally just the coup de grace. This is just me, like, just getting every little thing that I disliked or went wrong with MultiVersus, and I need to make sure that I just get everything in here. And I forgot about 2 things that I can think of off the top of my head. But number 1, the main thing, was riffs. I don't think I talked about these enough. I need to actually fucking vent about this shit, because I don't think I did. So, this was supposed to be the single-player content that Player First Games was working on, and I think that Season 1, you can tell, they put the most time into these riffs, even if, I think the last one was a bit of a rush job, but, they very clearly put in a bit of work in there. And then you see 4 riffs, and you're just like, oh shit. Well, they kind of toned that down a little bit. Well, yeah, but that's because everyone was complaining about riffs. Don't be so dramatic. I mean, I think that maybe they'll make more. Oh, Season 3 also has only 4, and like 2 of them are just event related. I mean, maybe Season 4 will do better with, that's technically loot box. Oh, no. Season 1. 3 different gem sets. With the last one, you can use all of them. The gems. I think that they're neat in concept. I think that it was a little neat idea to kind of like keep the gameplay, varied. But then you get into just how bad the fucking grind is. And like just how truly limited you are. Because early on, you don't get too much XP. Because, the lower difficulties, they don't really have that much. And after a certain point, you're capped out of getting enough XP. In order to get gem XP, I'll just go ahead and just boot this up. You have to get those little check marks right there, and then also just completing one of the rifts. Just you get a little bit of XP on a gem or two or whatever. I think it's one. Yeah, one gem every rift that you complete, and then you get a fair bit extra by getting the stars. And in order to get the stars, you have to complete certain little missions in the rifts, as well as having some sort of like. Sometimes they'll have different like requirements as well, and that's fine. That is okay sometimes. Usually it's for like an event. There's like a free event skin that you can get, and that'll more than likely help you out in the rift and stuff like that. That's mostly fine. But even then, you still have to, in some cases, get stuff that you otherwise would not want to get in the first place just to complete the story mode? Which already sounds really, really weird. But then you also have to factor in the idea of gem XP and how it limits you artificially from progressing further than the devs want you to. Because back in Season 1, you could earn Agent Smith through completing rifts and beating the bosses. But there was only one rift available, and the only difficulties that were available were these. Looney was not available yet, I don't think. Yeah, no, Looney was definitely not available. Actually, no, I don't even think Crushing was available at that point. I think it was just easy and experienced. Someone's gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that there was a time gate on Crushing as well. Actually, I don't remember. Was there a time gate on Crushing? Now I have to look this up. I feel like I'm getting too ahead of myself. Okay, MultiVersus Season 1 rifts. I need to check this out. This is near the end. I swear there was a time gate on I'm this isn't live anymore. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. It was either Crushing or Looney. I'm almost certain it was Looney, but either way. Yeah, and so like you keep going. Yeah, so like getting progress in one gem set was already, it was fine. However, then you get to the next one, and you realize, oh shit, I have to grind even more gems. And then the next week unlocks the next rift, and you're just like, I have to grind even more. I have to keep grinding all of these different gem types. And the horror one was by far the fucking worst to try to get. I only have like one level. What are my gems in this one? I forget. Okay, one of them is level 20. It used to be like from 1 to 10, then they changed it from 1 to 20. But like the XP is still the same, so it's just not really that big a deal. Well, yeah, okay, so I have like one level 20 gem. 19. And then 20, yeah. So like And you get that stuff by playing stuff like, say, Loony difficulty or Insanity difficulty, the really difficult rifts. And I mean, it's not the biggest problem, but it's still just it's very artificial. I don't like it. I don't like having to grind something. Well, it's super hard in a setting like this. Like, say, for me, when I play, like, say, I don't know, I can't really say an RP. Well, okay, you know what? Say like Toontown grinding, like gag training and stuff like that. I'm more open to doing something like that in, like, say, an MMO or something, because it feels like par for the course for that kind of game, and you can overlevel yourself and you can go at your own pace. Same with, say, I don't know, fucking Ratchet and Clank with how leveling up weapons is. I can go at my own pace because that's a single player game and there's nothing really limiting you. I understand that they wanted to kind of pad it out because they didn't have that much content to give, and I get it. But at the same time, it's also like, why? Why do you insist on just putting as many things to prevent people from having fun as possible? That's the shit that I don't get. And, like, okay, so you couldn't even unlock Smith until about here. So every different difficulty has one boss, and you had to get to 20 to even unlock Smith. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind, Experienced is not available on this one, and instead, you had to complete Insanity difficulty, which is by far much harder than Crushing. And Crushing was already getting on my nerves because, like, at a certain point, like, they changed the difficulty of the rifts, and Crushing wasn't that bad before. Then it became a fucking nightmare. I don't know what the fuck they did. I don't remember specifically, but it became much, much worse. And that shit carried over to Insanity as well when I was starting that. It was really fucking bad. But anyway, so imagine, okay, so that's like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and then you get to 20. Only to realize you're locked out of Crushing as well. Now, you realize you have to complete Insanity just to even unlock Smith, because at this point, Loony wasn't even available. Loony, I think, only just recently, like, it became available near the end for the people that really, really wanted to grind for the Matrix Code Agent Smith skin, which was the thing that was beyond that. And, well, as you can see, I did end up doing it. I did get it. I didn't put that much time into Smith because he felt just really, really busted, and I just didn't like that. I don't like when my characters feel busted. At least when Tom and Jerry was busted, you could choose not to do the loops, and that's exactly what I did. I obviously still used the up attack move, but just nowhere near as much as, say, I don't know, players like Hardcore Fox did, because it's boring. It's a boring play style. It's not fun having to sit through an endless cutscene. It's not fun having to be the one to put people through an endless cutscene. It's Metal Gear Solid 4 and its cutscenes last a shorter time than Tom and Jerry does to like kill people. Actually, no, I take that back. Iron Giant's Taunt Infinite takes longer to kill people, if you so choose, than a Metal Gear Solid 4 cutscene. So really, I think that MultiVersus should win that Guinness Book of World Records. But anyway. So, yeah, you get through that, and then, yeah. They limit the difficulties so that you don't have enough bosses to get Agent Smith free and early. And yeah, that just kind of that kind of rubs me the wrong way. And that's not even getting into one of the more fucked up things about it. back in the day, there was text on the side for Looney saying that it would have limited lives and your damage would carry over from rift to rift. And if you ran out of lives, you could buy more, or you'd just have to wait. That shit was so scummy that Player First Games then ended up taking that out and saying, oh, that text was a bug, we didn't mean to do that. Oh, well, hold on. Well, if you truly didn't mean to do that, then what the fuck is this? You cannot trust a word that these devs have said. I don't know. Some higher up is making these fucking god-awful decisions. And they make the whole team just look absolutely stupid. Like, they're putting on a fucking clown show, and Player First Games is the entire circus. Tent and everything. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. I haven't even looked at this shit, so, like, yeah, so... I guess let's just go ahead and talk about this. The fact that they added loot boxes to this. So the way this works, right, is that if you play enough, or if you get to the end of the rift, you'll get a chest, and that chest can have one of any of these rewards, right? It can have Fighter Road currency, it can or Fighter Road XP, it can have Battle Pass XP, and it can have perk currency, you know. And then, on the very off chance, it could potentially have the Jason skin that people, myself included, really, really wanted. Because, hey, look at that. It's a fucking cool skin. But it's a toss-up whether or not you're gonna get it. It's all RNG. It's basically just gambling. Like, this is loot boxes. You know, the thing that kind of got phased out when people switched to battle passes. MultiVersus said they want their cake and they're gonna eat it too. This is beyond scummy. This is just absolutely absurd. Now, obviously, you don't need to, like, play it, every time. I think the most reasonable one is probably just the crushing difficulty. Like, you have a fucking 1% chance to do it, right? And, you know, if you go... There are no duplicates. Well, I guess technically there are, but if you get to, like, the limit of one of these things, then you can't get it anymore. And in that case, then there wouldn't be a duplicate of that. But the fact that, you know, it's still like that, and there's so many, you have to do so many... It's just, it's ridiculous. You have to, at the very least, get... Oh, God. Yeah, you have to do a lot. Or you could get lucky. But that's the thing. At least with Agent Smith, you were guaranteed to get the thing that you wanted by actually playing the game and grinding it out. Even if it was, like, stupidly bullshit in its difficulty. Here, it's a gamble. You're literally just gambling. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the fact that this is even a thing. I hate the fact that they thought that this was a good idea. I hate the fact that they said that they weren't going to do the limited lives bullshit on Looney, and then they brought it back for another rift. Why? I know why. Because they're trying to milk people. They were trying to get as many people to play the game as possible before, you know, the game dies. And hey, guess what? The game's dying. That makes this shit look really, really bad. Oh, yeah. I hate it. I hate it so much. And that's not even just getting into the content of the rifts. So, you go in, you let me choose one of these, I guess. Like, say, for example, this, because, yeah, you know, I've done all these, sue me. Yeah, so, you get in, and, oh, hey, there's some missions that you need to do. Like, say, for this one. I hated this one, by the way. This one was fucking awful. Yeah, so you have to... And these are very common things, like, you know, win a match with a specific character, win, like, do X thing, or, like, do X amount of attacks on the enemy, or something like that. The deal final hit to Mojo Jojo Saucer one is just fucking evil, because if someone else does it, you don't get credit. I really fucking despise that. And then, of course, you know, like, the different tags and stuff actually mean something here. So, you also have to kind of manage, like... Where is it? Is it still marked as undead? No, it's not. You still have to kind of manage, you know, like, say... Oh, I should probably use this. Or, like, say if you wanted to do a character, it'd be like Beetlejuice, right? Beetlejuice is undead. But... that's the thing. You have to have these characters unlocked, or there's or specific skins that go in with like the tags and stuff like that. And like it's not impossible to completely like predict what you'll need, but like still it's pretty far out there. Like the amount of different things that you need, you know. And that just kind of makes me just... To me, I'm fine with that, because I can use all of these characters. I can, you know, mix and match the different tags. Even if I have to complete the rip multiple times, I can still do it. But a new player's not going to have that luxury. They're going to be locked out of this. Because, guess what? They don't have all the characters unlocked. They still have to grind out the characters. And because of that, why would you bother with rifts? Why would you bother with the single player content and try to experience it to the fullest if I'm being locked out of what I'm wanting to do in the first place? So rifts, by definition, is just a colossal flop, because they don't even do what they set out to do. Oh, also, the rifts, in Season 1, some of them at least, they have, let me see, where I can go to, because they will have unique cutscenes as well. Let's say, yeah, this one, for example. I think if I do the first one, it'll play a cutscene? Or actually... Oh no, is it the first time that you boot it up? I think it's the first time that you boot it up, yeah. That, you know, you'd get a cutscene, and they were all cinematic cutscenes, and it was cool. I liked it. I really liked it. But then you notice after Season 1, they don't do them anymore. Okay, well, it didn't show, so whatever. There was one for Stripe, I know that much. Yeah, see? And this was Stripe's this was Stripe's announcement trailer. But it's a good use of it. See? And that shit was cool. But obviously, you know, later on, because they're bleeding money like a fucking stuffed pig, I don't know if that even makes sense, they don't have enough money or really time, because this shit was pretty rushed, to do that stuff. And those small things add up over time. And it just sucks. It just really sucks. And then I guess, yeah, that's Rifts in a nutshell. Rifts completely failed as single player content, and if you're forced to do them, then you're not going to want to do them. The other thing I think I failed to really mention or like harp on a little bit was perks. I think that the perk system overall, I do mention stuff like perk currency and that stuff like that. I think what I don't really mention is the perks themselves, or like go into detail about that, which I will for like a split second. What do you mean must own fighter? Bro, what do you mean? Hold on, what? Okay, there's something new every day with this game. Fine, fuck you. I'll choose a different character. Oh wait, no, hold on. That's because I'm in here, I think. I don't know.
Now listen here, son. It's time to choose a fighter.
Okay, game's just bugged. Okay. This is kind of proving my point. That's funny. But yeah, so okay, everyone owns Shaggy. Surely it's gonna work on Shaggy, right?
Time to choose a fighter.
Yeah, it does. Okay, good. Let's just take for example. So there's only 3 different perk slots, and there's you can only have 1 of each of these, right? And that sounds fine. Until you realize that the beta did perks a lot better. So in the beta, you had to level up your character to a certain amount before you could select different perks, and in the full release, you don't need to do that. You can select perks whenever. It's just that you are limited to 1 perk, like, preset. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Preset. Custom set, yeah, as it says. Obviously, I like the fact that you can buy perks whenever on a character, like right out the gate. I think that that's a much better system than the system that we had in the beta. I said that I was fine with it. I mean, it's still okay, but like clearly having those perks right away is super helpful because it feels like you're not playing a nerfed character, and I think that that's important, even though leveling up characters comes pretty quickly in the beta. For this, you're only allowed to select from the custom sets. In the beta, you were allowed to switch your perks on the fly, and that it was so much better than what we had now, because you could actually take 2s, for example. In 2s, certain perks will stack with themselves, and you can do that more easily if you can switch them on the fly in between rounds and shit like that. That makes the most sense. But you can't do that in the full release. You are locked specifically to these custom sets, so you have to pick the most general, probably meta perk sets that everyone else runs. For the longest time, it was Last Stand. Let's see, yeah, it was like Snowball Effect, Last Stand, and Pugilist. You would only replace Snowball Effect with That's Flammable if you were on like a projectile character or something. So like Tom and Jerry would run That's Flammable, Last Stand, Pugilist, and then whatever perk like the signature perk was. And all of these are unique little buffs that every character got. In the beta, this one wasn't around, the well-rounded one. This came with the full release, and basically it means that if you don't want to use one of these shitty perks, or you know that you don't have them, if these were shitty, I mean, One Last Oinks is fucking broken as shit, but if you didn't have them, then you have this, and it's still just, you know, another damage and defense buff, which is nice. And there's some characters where that actually ends up being the meta, like Banana Guard, for example. You don't really use any of his signature perks because they're fucking dog shit. Or with other characters, you wouldn't want to use them because they don't really, you know, do anything. Okay, yeah. It basically means that perk setups tend to be pretty stale and just pretty repetitive because there isn't really any focus on trying to experiment with perks. There's no real trying to, like team up with the people and their perks and hoping that, like you're able to use the lesser ones and stack them and trying to do that. That's not really how that goes nowadays. Instead, you're just kind of forced into one set. You kind of got to hope that the other person's running the meta set, and it's just kind of an afterthought. And I really, really wish that it wasn't such an afterthought, because it has potential to be a lot more in-depth. It has a lot more potential to be creative. And a lot of perks were removed from beta to release. Like, there were so many more really cool and interesting perks that just kind of got neutered and just fucking slapped down. Like, so many things. Like, there was a triple jump, there was a fucking... There were little stat increases to, like, decrease cooldown time. There were very specific ones that were pretty niche, but, like, all of them were neat. And now it's just kind of a much more watered down system, and it's just for the worse. And I hate that. I really wish that they had made improvements to this. I wish that they had made improvements to everything, but more specifically, I wish that they had made improvements to this system, because I always thought that this system was cool. I always looked at perks and was just like, hey, I actually really like that, because it gives more freedom of expression to the character that you're playing. Someone can be playing Tom and Jerry, like two people can be playing Tom and Jerry, right? Having like a ditto, but if one person is running triple dynamite and the other person is running the fishing pole perk, which I really don't know why you would, but let's just say that you are, then those are two different play styles and two different people playing Tom and Jerry, but also playing them differently, and that's interesting. But you're never going to see that, and that just it makes me sad. It really does. Okay, I think that was all that I wanted to yap about. Spent another half hour making a fucking mini yappuccino about MultiVersus again. Shit just makes me sad, man. God, I hate this game. I want to love it. I hate it. It's just...